Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Booked, our wonderful YouTube channel. I'm Aaron Clutter, Editor-in-Chief and CEO of Comic Booked. We're a website with a ton of comic reviews, movie reviews, TV, games, all that stuff. So pretty much anything in the pop culture media, we do it. So tonight I have a special guest with me. IZZI Ross is joining me by phone. Welcome, IZZI.
Hello. Hello. Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. IZZI is the creator of Seamus and Abbie, and that is a webcomic that's been around since 2014. We're going to talk about that and talk about her Indiegogo campaign that's coming up, and plug, and hopefully make that successful for her, and talk about comics and pop culture and all kinds of cool stuff. So, IZZI, I'll let you take it away. Tell us about Seamus and Abbie, and then we'll jump over to the site and take a look at some of the strips that are out there for people to read.
All right, great. So my name's IZZI. That's my internet alias, and I've made Seamus and Abbie back in 2014. It's a slice of life comic, technically, and it just centers around a depressed man. He has clinical depression and lives in Dublin, Ireland, with his grumpy cat and his family. So throughout this comic, we get to see him sort of in his everyday life, just going through the motions. And the cool thing I think comic brings for any kind of reader is just how relatable the characters are. No matter what genre, you like. I mean, me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of slice of life, but it was something about Seamus and his family that I just loved, and so I just kept it going. It was actually sort of a kind of a test run to see if I was able to do a kind of newspapery kind of comic that was really short and dry and kind of Sunday papery, comic-like, and after a few runs, I really ended up liking it a lot, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep this going and see where it heads, and I really love where it's come so far into 2017. So
that's
yeah.
Cool. And I mean, definitely to sink 3 years of your life into something, you must love it. That's good. But it's very interesting.
Sure.
I like I was talking to you earlier. I like the art. It's simple, but it gets the point across. We're just looking at the page here, "Romancing the Divine," which is the third strip there in phase 1. And I like just even looking at this first frame. You got the coffee. You can tell the coffee's hot because a little steam rising off of it. You got Abbie in the background, looking on. You can tell
judging him from the corner.
Exactly. Right. And cats do that, right? I actually have four cats. 4 cats and 5 kids, so it's I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. But they do. They sit there and they watch you, and they judge everything you do. And I read an article a few years ago about how cats really treat us as if we're just hairless kittens that they have to take care of, and that's why they treat us the way we do.
Care of us.
Right. Well, that's why they follow you into the bathroom. That's why they every time you go to another room, they come in. What are you doing? You're being good.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I had a really special cat growing up, so I kind of wanted to pay tribute to her in a way. I mean, they're not exactly the same. My cat was pretty enthusiastic for the most part, but I kind of wanted to just pay homage to her. And cats, and whether it's a human or a pet, if they're in your house, they should be a part of your family, or considered that way.
That's true.
I wanted her to feel like she is an O'Dirty. She's a part of the O'Dirty clan, even though she's a silly little cat.
That's cool. It's very neat. I really like the strip. It's definitely something that our viewers and readers should check out. Keep an eye on our site, comicbook.com, for an article coming up that'll give a little more review of Seamus and Abbie, and then some further information about the Indiegogo campaign. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we had a Kickstarter going on for it, and I aimed a little too high. I had never really done a Kickstarter before, and I kind of, I just aimed way too high, and so I did get a lot of good feedback from just people perusing through Kickstarter and discovering it, and I've made new fans too along that month, and it's been really interesting. I've learned a lot. I have a comic site I am affiliated with now, and it's a webcomic collective called Spider Forest, and they've done a lot of Kickstarters,
Okay.
and they've given me advice. So I guess I don't really stay down that easy, and I'm just like, I need to get this out there, and I will one way or another. So I learned about Indiegogo while Kickstarter was going on, and I actually really liked the platform. And so in a few weeks here, I'm hoping to start my Indiegogo campaign to get at least 100 books out there to the fans, and really cool rewards that I've made, keychains and prints and things like that. And I'm excited to start it. And, so hopefully I'll have that info
Cool.
soon.
Awesome. I saw the sculptures too that were on your Kickstarter campaign. I thought those were pretty neat.
Yeah, that's my Seamus shrine. He's actually up on my desk all the time. So anytime I'm making a comic, he's just staring at me like, don't make me say anything stupid, or I just try to channel him into my writing,
That's very cool. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to talk and talk about Seamus and Abbie, and definitely we'll have to do this again. Maybe once the Indiegogo campaign kicks off, we'll do another interview and push that a little as well. This will be kind of a teaser for everybody to get them out to the website and have them check that out. Definitely, if anybody out there has questions for IZZI or for me, leave them in the comments here. You can always also email us at admin@comicbook.com. And we will answer your questions. You can check us out on Facebook as well. And IZZI, where can they stalk you on social media?
Actually, if you go to my main site, SeamusandAbbie.com, at the bottom of the homepage, I have every link possible for this comic. We have a Facebook, I have a Tapastic, the main site, obviously, a Patreon, and just a lot of cool stuff. And I recently made a Twitter. So, yeah, you can go and use the homepage as a reference right now, as of now.
Awesome. And we'll have a link to the homepage in the description for this video as well. But if you're just listening to it and you don't want to read, you can go to Seamus and Abbie, and that's Seamus spelled as it should be, SEAMUS, and Abbie, ABBIE.com, and check out the cool comic, check out all of her social media links, and just check out this great project. It really sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing the rewards that you've got for the Indiegogo and how well you do with that. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Sure. So how did you get into comics in the first place? How did you start with all this?
Well, I always kind of had a creative bone in me growing up. I just always had the knack for telling stories, and, my mom would be so annoyed with me just coming up with all these stories and telling her and, bugging her all the time. But I think what made me want to make comics was in ninth grade. I had been drawing. I'd always drawn quite a bit. And with the comics, my friends and I in ninth grade, we wanted to make this story, and they were like, it would be really cool if we just made a comic of it. But they weren't really comic artists. They just liked to write stories. And, of course, back then it was extremely, amateur, something, vampires and werewolves were really popular back then. That was like when it came out. And so we were like, oh, yeah, what if we make this story about a magical school full of mythical creatures? And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I was drawing it, and I had the best time making the comic. And, in fact, I actually ended up finishing it without them because, of course, they all jump ship, and they don't have the attention span in high school to finish anything. But I actually would go home and I would draw these panels, and I was so interested in just storyboarding, and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. So I actually have a full volume, about 100 pages of copy paper story, just bind it up, and I made it. and I still have it to this day. And I use it as a testament. Like, I think I'm a sequential artist. Like, that's when I knew. It's like, I want to do this. So it's pretty
That's
interesting.
cool. That should be one of your Indiegogo rewards. You know, a copy of that, like at the top tier, right?
Oh my God, I don't think I want to get that out to the public ever.
Just one person for like a $10,000 donation.
Exactly, a glimpse,
All right.
or a 2-second glimpse of a page.
Right, it is. That's funny. Well, that's cool. That is really neat, though. I mean, I know, I write a lot, and that's kind of where I got my start. Was back in elementary school, and 5th and 6th grade. I remember I did this was like a Halloween project where it was a spelling words. The teacher goes, go home and write a how many word story and include these spelling words. And it was only supposed to be like one page. And I came back to school with this 12-page book with a cover and artwork inside of it and everything, And the teacher's like, wow. I think it was 5th grade.
You went above and beyond on that.
Right. But it was awesome. I had a great time with it. So, but there's things like that just kind of spark you into writing and drawing and that kind of thing. I've never been an artist. I just can't draw. My people come out looking like stick figures with lopsided heads, so I don't do that. But I can write, so
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool. It's neat to hear how people get their starts and how people really get into doing that. Because there's many times I've thought, boy, I could write a comic, but then I have to find somebody to draw it, and just forget.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I think it's interesting how, like, being a comic artist, you have to be a writer and an artist all at once. And I think I've always been a very, visual person. So, of course, I've been more comic than, books. And my friends have always been books. They'll read and be so enthralled in it. And I'm just like, well, I kind of want to see what's going on, like what's happening.
Right.
So I was just, drawing it out is even in like a sketchy kind of form, and its preliminary stages is just so amazing to see to me, because you're putting an image that's just in your mind of what you think is happening, and you're portraying it for everyone to see.
Right.
So I prefer that. I love that.
That's cool. And it's really it's more about burying yourself in a way too, because you're taking that image, like you said, and you're putting it on paper. You're going, this is what I see, and you're giving it to people rather than just writing it and letting them make their own pictures. So it's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay. Well, I mean, we've talked about Seamus and Abbie. We've talked about your Indiegogo project. We've talked about how you got your start. So other than Seamus and Abbie, any other projects that you have kind of out there in the wings waiting to be born?
I've actually invested so much time into this one. The projects that I did have in the works are still on my desktop. I mean, I haven't really done anything with them, because as soon as I start, I go, oh, wait, Seamus has something to say. I can't do this right now. So, and and when I first started the comic, I had no idea it would take they would be almost like a part of my own family. And, showcasing this man, even though he's a cartoon, with depression, I've been through a lot of what he's been through. I don't have it personally, but I know a lot of people around me and my friends and family who do have it. So I kind of found it as sort of a mini mission in a way to, make a comic that relates to people that do have depression or whatever ailment, or just have trouble getting up in the morning. Because I know what that's like. I've gotten calls, from my friends saying, I don't know if I can get up and do this. I don't know, And I feel like, showcasing a guy in a comic form with this and giving the right amount of funny and serious is something that's not really showcased too much in the comic world right now. So
that's true.
For me doing that, I feel it could be really cool if I just get it out there enough and get enough people reading it. So I'm just trying to do whatever possible. So yeah.
It's good. It's always good to have something that's not just, here's my comic, but here's my comic that relates to a part of life and can draw people to it and bring some awareness. Because, it's definitely an issue, and some people don't even know they have it. So, yeah, that's cool.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Well, IZZI, it was great talking to you. I appreciate you being on the show tonight, and definitely want to see Seamus and Abbie become a solid thing that we can hold in our hands, right?
Oh, yes, for sure. I feel like as soon as I get the books in my hands, I might start crying. I put way too much work into it, and I just know I'll start bawling if I get the books. But yes, I want to share it with everyone, and I really hope I get it out soon. And in the meantime, the best you can do for this comic for me is to give it a read and, pop a message on the board, or just let me know if you like it. The messages that I get from my fans and or the fans of the comic have been so great, and you can even read them on the site, just how it impacted them emotionally or gave them a good laugh. So, I'll add any comment from anyone if they enjoyed it, and I'll put it on there. It's always good to
Awesome.
share. But yeah, so I hope everyone enjoys it that reads it and relates to it in some way. So.
Great.
That's about it for me, I think. But thank you
Okay.
for having me on. I
Oh,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome, Izzy. I appreciate it, and well, hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. And everybody out there, if you have questions, like I said, please leave comments on the video here, and you can check us out on Facebook. We're Comic Booked, Booked. You can also go to comicbooked.com, which is our website. You can check us out on Twitter. We're at Comic Booked. We're everywhere else too, but I can't remember half of them. So if there's a social media outlet out there, we're out there on it somewhere. So we appreciate you watching, and Izzy, I appreciate you taking part in the interview tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And thank
Okay.
you for everyone reading. Thanks. Bye.
All right. See you guys later.